she was staying home with the children, and having twin girls, and it's takes a lot of energy, and I always thought I had everything under control. We just got deeper and deeper in debt, and eventually we got to a point where most people get where, I'm still paying stuff off, but then the credit card company say, oh, you got too much debt, and they raise your interest rates way up, and next thing you know, you can't make the payment, and that's kind of where we're at. And
I did call around there. There's so many debt management programs out there, and not all of them are 100% payback. And it was our debt. We didn't want to say, okay, we're just gonna. And we had successful businessmen friends that told us, you might as well just file bankruptcy because you're so deep into debt. And we didn't listen to them, and it was our problem. We made the mess. We were going to pay it back.
I was very clear with Kandy when I met with her that this was not going to be easy. That if this was really going to happen, this was going to be tough budgeting, and it was going to be really tight, and they were going to be sacrificing and not buying things that were just normal in their household.
I needed to have a second job to meet that means to have food on the table, so I went out and I found a job working as the janitor, floor cleaning job for the grocery store in town. I was up to basically $95 to $100 a week working, and so that's basically what I did for the last 4.5 years.
When the gas price would go up, he didn't have enough money to drive home. I mean, there were, and so he would literally, on the nights he did not have to work that second job in town, he would stay in the cities and sleep overnight in the car in the, Midwest winter, how cold it is. He'd have his sleeping bag and he'd sleep in the car, not drive home because we didn't have the money for him, the gas money, and so he did what it took.
We had some challenges too. I have diabetes, and I've had some challenges with that, and during this time it spiked up, and I got some severe infections that I've had surgery for, and I still don't, even after surgery, I only missed like a day at work. I pretty much, out of 4.5 years of my second job, I missed maybe 3 days of work of sickness.
A lot of times you hear people say, well, we'll start a family when we can afford it. Well, try starting a family when you're 6 figures in debt. We already had a family, but try adding to your family.
They could have said, we've paid off 3 debts. Could we reduce our debt management program payment? And you reduce it by those 3 that we paid off. So instead of having those extra funds to now stack onto the other payments that are still there, they could possibly have done that. They never once called to ask for it.
But then the 3rd, 4th year, it's like, boom, bills are being paid off, and you're like, wow. Then it encourages you, encourages me. It's like, wow, I got 1 bill paid off, we can do 1 more.
Russell printed off the real estate ad, and our daughters taped it by their bed. Every night before they went to bed, they looked at this house.
I saw that house, and we still had a year of the payoff, and I just saw this place. I drove by it one day, and I said, I really like this house. I think she would. And I went back, and we found out with that open house next Saturday, and we went there.
The fact that they bought a house, they closed on a house April 30th. They've paid their final payment at the end of June to this debt management program.
First, stop doing what you're doing that got you in there, and realize you need to get help. And realize that there are organizations like CCCS out there. They have the ability to do what you cannot do on your own. And be willing to get the help you need and the direction, and then do what they say, and then you will find that you'll get yourselves out of debt.
I was very lucky that the Hildebrandts walked through my door, and I was able to just give them the ladder to assist them out of that pit, and they were able to stick to it and absolutely climb out of that pit completely and into a new house, which was just all the more rewarding.